anything up here? Nope. Okay. Here we go again.
Kuro. Shinobi of the Divine Air, we meet again. Behold, the second mortal blade.
Genichiro. If you think you can change Ashina's fate with such a thing, you are mistaken. Wolf. No one has the right to the dragon's heritage. It is no one's to bear. I wish there was another way.
It's all right. One last time.
Yes. Let's finish this.
I will restore Ashina to glory. Yes, that's it. Your strength.
Must be done.
We're not so big, you and I, Wolf.
Not allow Ashina to be crushed.
In the end, I was powerless, but Ashina will rise once more. The dragon blood surging through her veins. With this, Ashina's long night comes to an end.
pitiful grandchild. This was your last wish. To see Ashina returned from the great beyond. Which means Sekiro. I must destroy you. Count Sekiro!
Sorry, I forgot that the mic was muted. Ooh, that's quick. Okay, this is gonna take a while. Especially with a big cliff at one side. It means I can actually die. Let's get back over here. Are you just walking around? You are just walking around. Oh, that was a flip. Damn it. Damn, didn't get there in time. Aha! You did not kill me with that swipe because you killed me before. Okay. We're at the edge, which I don't like. Why are you attracted to that edge? Let's see. Which one is it? Halves max vitality and posture. Oh, no. We want reusables. Ooh, that really does limit you. How long does it last? Uses 3 though. Oh, that doesn't last long at all. Yeah. Fatality. Damn it. Keep hoping that he's gonna do the Makiri, so that works against him. Okay, 1/3 down.
Now my blood boils. Face me, Sekiro.
Oh my god. Damn it. I thought that was going to be a single move. So he's gone from sword to spear. And I thought I was streaming this. Kinda glad that I'm not. Come on, that worked last time. I jumped on his head. Sorry about that brief interruption. Family stuff, gotta love it. Damn. This is not good. I just think what my death counter's like. Yeah, it's alright, I didn't know what I was doing that time. How long do you give it till I actually give up? And press the button that says one hit, break, easy kill. Let's see what the next phase is like. Oh, yeah. So much more fun. And I am dead because of shock. But I think that's the gimmick to this one. Am I frustrating you? Okay. Back you into a corner. That way I know I'm definitely not going off of an edge. This is working. Dying close to him. Damn, too late. Have that. And that for an extra.
Do it! Well done, Sekiro. Farewell.
Memory of Saint Ishin. Lingering battle memory of an extraordinary foe, lingered in the mind, commune with sculptor's idol. Dragon Flash combat art performs high-speed cut from sea stance. Change spread shockwaves. Okay.
Wolf, where are you?
Now I've got the choice of 3 endings. I'm going to go with the Dragon Tears and Frozen Tears, because Frozen Tears are from the Divine Child-ish.
I'm at your side. Take the dragon tears. We must leave this place, my lord.
Lord Kuro, may you be at rest. Allow me to hold you in my heart. Everyone, it is time. I must depart. The journey to sever our ties with fate will be a very long one indeed. And yet, you still wish to join us.
I do.
You have my thanks, Shinobi of the Dragon. Know that Kuro shares my joy. Let us depart to the west, to the birthplace of the divine dragon.
So, that's Sekiro. I would like to say that I completed it fairly, but I just couldn't, so I've used a trainer for the last, I'd say, third to half of the game. I'd like to say third, optimistically. Very, very mixed game. Ginger Jester has placed a bet that I've got a 500-word essay on the subject, but I don't really. I mean, I've watched his Let's Play and heard his opinion, and I've watched Keith Ballard's Let's Play and heard what he has to say. I'm coming at it from a different point of view because I did look into going into gaming as a career, only my hands wouldn't let me. And it's kind of this subject that I need to stick to because I have a type of repetitive strain injury, and to me, this game feels half-baked. For a start, I know that it was meant to be originally a Tenchu game, which people would play, but then it got altered into what it is now, which is sort of basically a Tenchu game where the sort of Souls-like mechanics have been introduced, and that's caused a divide in the way that the game comes across, because in the Soul games you need to kill things to get souls to level up so you can be better and equip bigger weapons. And it kind of just goes loggerheads with the entire stealth. I mean, if you look at a lot of the items that you have in your inventory, the stealth items are there, but they're not really functional. I mean, Ginger Jester took the mick out of ceramic shards, but to be honest, that is a very, very valid criticism. Something like a noise distraction item should be a working mechanic in a stealth game. There's no real indication of how much you're in stealth, how much of you is visible. All the elements that you'd expect there to be is just either half baked in, or they just don't work properly. And with that, it brings us on to why I think it was half baked. I mean, if you go to the main menu, you have continue, new, and load game. Now, load game makes sense in a Souls series or a Bloodborne series where you could have different characters. But in this game, it's not really an option, so why is the load game even there? Because it's basically an Iron Man checkpoint system. Every time you hit a shrine, that's your save point. You can't revert to a different save point, there's absolutely no point. So why have the load game? It makes me think that there was other intentions for this game initially. Just because the way that it comes, that entire system comes across, it's very strange. It's just stuck in my head about the load game, the fact that it's there and it doesn't function. But for me, because of the RSI, I game with a permanent input lag that varies depending on how long I've been playing, how intensive the game is. And that is a barrier to me enjoying this game, because there is not an easy mode. Now, a lot of the people who follow the FromSoft games are going to have complete hissy fit at me saying that. But I've gone to the wiki, and here's a list of what it actually does. So the Demon Bell is the in-game hard mode. So it makes your game harder by increasing all combat stats of enemy, higher vitality damage, higher posture damage, your posture is broken more easier, higher vitality damage resistance, higher posture damage resistance. So basically all the enemies get buffed. The loot pool is extended, so there's new loot items and things will drop quicker. The loot quantity is increased. Increases item drop frequency. Does not affect the gathering of spirit emblems. Has no effect on skill point or scent. So the hard mode is quite literally just to make the enemies harder and you get loot quicker. So why isn't there one the other way? Why isn't there a bell that you can ring to flip the stats the other way? Perhaps it opens up the region for you to get your parries in. Not by much, but not much is needed to make the game easier. If you see what I mean when I'm saying that. But there's other things that they could have done mechanically to make the game easier. They could have had like shrine holders just before big boss encounters, and you could go to the sculptor or the sculptor location and craft yourself. Is there do I want to start second playthrough now? No. So yes, do I want to? Oh, that's derailed my train of thought completely. So what was I babbling on about? So they could put Buddha idols like these, but empty. And you'd say, run in here, spend a couple, say 1,000 sen or something, and you carve a Buddha. Then you go back to the game, and you go through, and when you get to a boss location, say the boss would be there, there's like a little location where you could put the Buddha, and if you do, it sort of negates that. It makes a store of all your inventory, everything you have on you, your health status and everything. So when you go in and you fight the boss and you die, rather than going back to this, you'd go back to the baby statue that you put, and it'll restore you to exactly what you was. Yes, they could have the death rot, the rot still be persistent through that, but at the same time, it would take out the farming and things like that. You'll be able to just keep trying a boss over and over, and this thing would get overwritten if you use one of these. So say you use it and you try the boss a couple of times and you think you're underpowered, so you can go back to a normal shrine. That one will get eaten, so you just go back and you buy another one. You level up some more, then you go back to the boss with your new one, put it in, away you go. That would make the game easier. The reason people don't use items is because it's all the spirit emblem thing, and that is farming, and that's what this game relies on, is grind. And it's just frustrating. It seems to me that they made choices to make the game artificially harder than what it is. A lot of the attacks that enemies and bosses do to me override me doing things to them. So if I'm fighting, say, two guys here, and I do that, it should stun them. But if they get into animation locks, which means if you don't time it correctly, their hits will continue regardless. The number of times that you can see that in any playthrough by any person, it just doesn't ring as fair to me. To me, if you're going to make a game that's hard, it needs to be fair to the player. And in my eyes, with the way that the mechanics don't quite work right, you don't have any choice in your weapon. You don't get we got a longer weapon on our back, but we can't use it. You are very much restricted by this character, what he can do, due to them making the decision to make this game more narrative driven over more exploration and you build your own character for the situation, which, if that's what you're after, then that's great. But for me, it just doesn't appeal. Because they decided to lock themselves into the narrative and the way that it works, they couldn't get really that creative with the bosses at the end of the day, because you have limited techniques in regards to what you have and the number of items that you can use, the magical techniques. So they basically drop themselves into a corner trying to work out what the heck is going on. The other thing that's worth mentioning, which I can demonstrate by going here. In Tenchu, you had the ability to use your grapple hook at any time. Now, the thing that I also find frustrating is they take away this ability at their own whim. Like, I can't go up there. There's a grapple point. But this entire section here, going round, they deliberately remove grapple points to force you through the ground route. And then, furthermore, it's only till you get to the end that they decide to give you a grapple point so you can travel back to go and do a boss. It's artificially making the game harder, because they limited themselves in what they can actually do with the mechanics that they have decided to use. And artificial difficulty isn't the same as hard difficulty. But I think that's about all I need to say on the subject. This game, it's a worrying trend, because as far as I can tell, this game has sold more than any other Souls game before it. So the people at FromSoft are going to be looking at this game going, ooh, we've got it right, because it sold well. But so we're going to see more half-baked ideas like this from them, which is a little bit worrying. It brings me to actually wonder if the developers view what we call a Souls-like as a series of mechanics that have to be forced into a game, instead of how the player sees it, which is as a challenge. And they will try and put these mechanics into whatever they think can be financially beneficial to the company. So I'm a little bit worried about where FromSoftware is going to go next. I mean, would you really want to see an Armored Core Souls-like? Oof. But that's it for now. I think that's me ranting on this enough. If you got here, you have my thanks. And, yeah, I'm worried about FromSoft. So, I'm going to say adieu. Thanks for watching. Till next time, have a good one.